How's everybody doing? Thing here, getting organized, situated. Is everybody doing good? We're gonna practice today. Do we love being 5D? Yes, we do. Superpowers. Superpowers. I was, when I was doing my hair this morning, I always talk with spirit. And I was saying if I was gonna have a superhero costume, you know, like a little outfit, what would it be? So I go, what would it look like if I had a superhero? When I was younger, I used to watch, one of my favorite shows was Wonder Woman. And I used to think that in some ways, in some places, I was like a Wonder Woman. I would have the little bracelets with the little whoosh, 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 you know. she would fly an invisible jet. I would fly an invisible light ship, which I do. I'm in and out of timelines like a whoosh, 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 whoosh. Everybody have a chance to watch that one-sided, completely biased, we're on the brink of World War III, ridiculous thing this morning that I put on the YouTube. Obviously, such low consciousness. None of them are consciously awake at all. None of them are consciously aligned at all. The one or two people that did have connections, and you could tell that they were ready to awaken, and the questions, the young fellow that got up on the stand there, and she was asking him questions about his experience, and he basically said, well, if I suggest that I know anything about light ships, then you're going to be sending me into, what is it, conspiracy or something. So it's like you can talk about it as long as you align with what we say. So that's a real unbiased experience, isn't it? Why didn't you have people on there like Lee Carroll, you know, like people that channel higher dimensional beings and people that have had actual experiences with light ships? And the reason, anything that they said in these experiences, they don't have people like myself on there of higher consciousness, because we can explain everything that they're saying, that they say it's where they're threatening. It's not threatening. Those are your fears based on where your consciousness is at. Again, a group of 100 people seeing a light ship, 100 people would react very differently because they're all at different levels of consciousness. But none of these things are explained in the videos like this morning on that global TV news. It's completely unbiased in the low vibrational consciousness. It's completely their low consciousness of where they are at. And their intentions, I was feeling the energy of all of those people that were, not all of them, because I didn't watch the whole thing, it was just such low consciousness, it was such bigoted energy. The girl that was on there, the dark-haired girl, her energy did not feel good at all. When I was reading her energy, it was very, she was completely in her divine masculine. There was no balance on her energies at all, which I felt it. Her energy was like screaming at me. Because that's the intention. They're projecting energy. They had an intention before going in that room that they were projecting energy. And the energy that they were projecting is that light ships and celestials, we are to fear them. We're on the brink of Third World War, and it's like ridiculous. With the level of capacity of intelligence that our celestials have, that we have when we awaken to our DNA, when we awaken to all the gifts that we have, when you awaken to your high vibrational gifts, these beings that are flying around from light ship to light ship, from one end of the cosmos to the other, you think they can do that in a blink of an eye, and you think that they're here to take over our planet and to be on a world war? They're not. They're here to suggest that yes, there's other life forms, because you've been denying it from humanity for, 3,000 years. We've had celestials visit our planet the day that the planet was birthed. And everybody in a higher consciousness knows that. And the people that are trying to keep it because they don't want humanity to awaken to our celestial gifts and who we are as divine beings. Anything that if these people would have had me into the conference, because they won't, because they'll be proven wrong and ignorant. If these people would have had me in their conference and they would have asked people of an unbiased experience to say, in your channeling higher consciousness states, when you align with your higher self and you align with spirit and you align with God, what is it that you're going to provide us in these informations? Well, okay, that group of people that sat and saw that light ship, they felt threatened because their energies were in fear. Because that's what light ships and people like myself do. We're there to trigger you. And whatever is being triggered is what you need to work on. Those are your fears. Those are your beliefs. So go in and work on your beliefs. It doesn't change the fact that I'm a higher conscious being and I'm very peaceful and I wouldn't hurt a person and I pick up insects to move them. But that just shows you where the consciousness level is on this planet. And those that are calling themselves leaders and officials, they bring forward such bigoted, uninspired, low consciousness expressions and video surveillancing like that That they displayed this morning was utter nonsense. It was absolutely biased in their opinions of such low consciousness, and everything that they said about light ships and consciousness was absolutely insane. It had no intelligence behind it whatsoever. It didn't have anybody of higher consciousness like myself standing up for us on our behalf. There are higher vibrational beings on the planet. Yes, there are hybrids on the planet. Yes, it's all about our DNA, and we've come here to raise the level of consciousness, because if it's not raised, it sits in things like that. We're on the brink of World War III because we're seeing things in the air we're not used to seeing anymore. Well, because we're supposed to evolve. We were supposed to evolve about 50 years ago. We were supposed to evolve to galactic people all over the place. We were supposed to evolve to say that, yes, we have cosmic celestial beings. They're part of our DNA. It's part of who we are. It's actually like why we have gifts. It's why we can ascend. It's why we can move beyond barbaric experiences and nuclear war that are going to harm the planet. They showed another clip of a missile being shot through the water and a celestial going in and breaking that missile up. And then they were so amazed. What type of technology does that? We should be threatened. It was our waters on our bomb. They actually disintegrated that missile because it was going to do harm to the oceans and detriment to the oceans. And they have the right. The galactic and celestial councils and the universal councils are upon universal laws. We support the universe. And if you're going to be ignorant enough to put off nuclear bombs and nuclear missiles, we have our right to call Trump on it. And Trump means that we have. But you're not intelligent. You're putting any statement out there with a UFO or a light ship or anything that dismantles very painful and harmful experiences that are in your oceans from the waters that you eat and the waters that you drink and the waters that go into your food. The water that you have on your planet is the only water that is on there. And if you detriment it on any level, it's going right into your food and into your plants and into your everything. And you're telling me that the level of health that your water is in right now, are you seriously wanting to take this up? Gets me so, ugh. That's the level of consciousness that these people have. Too much. If you don't like my channel, it's free will, you can leave. I'm not here to prove anything to you. I get to speak my voice. This is my channel, and it has been suppressed for 8 years. So I'm passionate about speaking in higher consciousness about what I understand and what I know. These are things that I know. And it was an absolutely biased news program this morning. Go watch it. And if you had any intelligence, you wouldn't say those things. Influence. No, I am the influence. Again, those are the spirit. I'm just calling Interpol investigations. Interpol investigations. If you get any people like that with their multitude of fake IDs because they come in here in multiple IDs, these are the ones that should be watched. Any comment that they're stating, anyone that they're stating, and sometimes they put "Hi, I'm from Jamaica" or "Hi, I'm from Italy." All of these ones are the ones you should watch from the organized global hate groups. I want these IP addresses moved. I'm tired of putting up with the ignorance. Channel, just like every other YouTube channel. If you don't like what I'm saying, and if you have a problem with it, keep it to yourself and go. Just go. I have my rights with my information and my wisdoms to be exactly who I am. I'm going to speak on things that are ridiculous. I'm going to speak on things that are out of this incredibly. These people call themselves leaders of the country, and this is how they behave and they act. And they put things like this out there for the people to see. And then in the headline, they say we're on the brink of Third World War. Are you kidding me? Now, if that doesn't incite fear and war, and it's coming from the people that are supposedly leaders, are you kidding me? I posted a video response that was in the news feed this morning, and it was from Global News TV. And the headline of the Global News TV from this one news, I don't even know what it was. I mean, what were they? Were they government officials that were talking about the increased UFO and light ship activity in the sky? They're not UFOs people anymore. Can we call them light ships? They're higher intelligent light ships. They offer light. They offer love. That's what they do. Light ships offer light and love. It's who we are. It's our families from all our celestials, because it's time now that humanity ascend beyond barbaric instruction and misguided, ignorant, low vibrational leaders that don't know anything about higher consciousness. And you can tell by the things that were said in that meeting this morning of whatever that production of that newsreel was. It wasn't unbiased. It was absolutely biased. And you can tell by the information in their voices and in the information that they were speaking and the people that they had called upon. It was actually intentional for them to bring fear into the conversation. It has nothing to do with fear. If Celestials wanted to take over the planet, it would have been done a long time ago when Eisenhower was in power. because there was many contracts between the Celestials and the North American governments that were breached on behalf of the ignorance, again, once again, on behalf of the ignorance of leadership, because all you cared about was technology and power and having power over others and who's got more information and who's got this and who's got that. If you lead the country with everything that you do to say who's got powerful weapons and who's got powerful machinery beyond what we know, just because you don't know the technology, you go into fear mode and then you on the brink of third world war. How is that even correlated? How is it even correlated? The Celestials broke up that missile because it was going to do great detriment to the oceans, and you don't have a right, as you've been told many times, you don't have a right to set off missiles on your oceans. It's the only water you have on your planet. And we will call Trump and we will call our order on it, dear lighted ones, because this planet is not yours. This planet does not just belong to you. It belongs to the people on the planet. It belongs to the animals. It belongs to the cetaceans that carry your souls on it. Did you know that? Did you know that the cetaceans carry informations of your souls in their consciousness? Did you know that? And everything that you do in your oceans detriments your own very soul for its evolution. Again, how important is your evolution? Oh, my goodness, the consciousness of people sometimes. I'm sorry, Father. I'm sorry, Father. Please forgive my transgressions. They're just telling me to be patient. So let's ground. I could only watch 5 minutes of that newscast. It was just not newsworthy at all. It was biased and it was ignorant. And the energy of those people were exactly like the energy of those people that have been attacking me since the day I was born. Shadow government. That's what it feels like. It feels like they put out this information to make everybody go into fear, but they're not educated, they're not intelligent on any level. UFOs are actually called light ships. They offer light, they offer love. It's who we are. Human on this planet has celestial and alien DNA. Everybody. And if they were higher consciousness beings, and if there were higher consciousness in the actual White House or wherever these people are, where they sit, wherever these people were from, the information that they brought forward was bigoted and it was biased. Their intention was to insert fear. So again, discern. These people are wanting you to feel fear. Celestials have no desire to take over our planet. Oh my God. Ugh. Just because we have higher technology than you, just because we can sense things and I can sense your intention and I can sense your energy just from you sitting in front of me, and I read your soul's record and I read your energy when you sat in front of me. And it was very mean. You had an intention of bringing that report forward, and the report that you brought forward and the intention that the news center put on its headline. And how do you think the people are going to feel about that when it's something you have absolutely no idea about? If you have not sat down and talked to the Celestials, you have no right to put a title like that on your newscast. And then you say, where are these news people being paid from? Who's paying the news people? Who's paying the news people to put a headline like that? Who's paying it? That girl that read out that report that says we are on the brink of a third world. How do you know? You haven't talked to the Celestials, have you? No, because you're so ignorant. All you do is attack us. All you do is attack the light beings. All you do is attack star seeds. All you do is suppress us. And if it's something that you don't understand, then you go into fearmonger mode and you put out this little thing that says we're on the brink of third world war. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Like, what year are you in? 1900? We're in the year 2026. We were supposed to start ascension in 1987. We are behind the 8 ball, dear lighted ones, and there's red flags going all over the place. If you have your leaders putting off it and say, no, we're going to take that away so it doesn't do the damage to your oceans, the Celestials did you a favor. And it's taking everything in my power not to say how unintelligent this conversation is and how these get me so upset because it's so biased and bigoted. The level of consciousness that these people have, and they're in office spending the people's money on ridiculous things. If they had invited people like Lee Carroll, if they had invited people like Daryl Anka, if they invited people like myself in, for people that actually channel Celestials, and Daryl Scranton, have us into your offices and we will answer those questions for you before you put out something like that to the public. So you're even putting them behind in their awakening because maybe they are interested in learning about Celestials and light ships. Light ships are here because for benevolent reasons, dear lighted ones. If you have 100 people, you haven't done your research because all you do is put out crap. I'm talking to the leaders of the countries that put out crap like that newsworthy. And again, the news station takes full responsibility for allowing that title to go on station. And none of you have ever talked to a celestial starseed, do you? No, all you do is you fight. All you do is suppress us. All you do is attack us with your little cult and coven minions. I've been suppressed since the day I was born because I'm a high-functioning human. I'm a highly advanced human. I have gifts and skills of the celestials because my DNA has been activated. And you would have your DNA activated if you so choose to become consciously awake and aware and harmonize with celestial light that is oneness, that is Metatronic light, that is Mother, Father, God, that is Source Creator, that is Spirit. Being connected and being higher advanced means that you have a higher enmeshment, you have a higher harmonization with Spirit. That's all that means. That means you have higher intelligence. That means I'm channeling right from Spirit. And nobody has a right to put a statement like that and put a title like that on a newsworthy. How is it newsworthy when you've only got one side of the equation? How is that newsworthy? How is that true? And how is that true in and of itself? It was not true in and of itself. You haven't talked to any starseeds. You haven't talked to any of us at all. All you've done is attack us and silence us. My YouTube channel is still stopped. My YouTube channel is still shadow banned. How's that okay? And yet people like you get up and have a statement like that and say we're on the brink of third world war. You don't know anything that you're talking about. You don't have any consciousness and you're completely shut down from Source Creator Spirit. And if you say you go to a church, that doesn't mean anything. Church ain't going to show you through ascension. We've said that a million times. You get me in your boardroom and you ask me every one of your questions, I'll answer them as a starseed would. And thank goodness that celestial did go in and take off that missile, because it would have done great damage to your oceans, that you would have been feeding your people. You don't care about your people if you're putting missiles in your oceans. You're just proving how dumb everybody is when you act and you behave like that and you say statements like that and then you put it out to the people without even thinking about, is this maybe unbiased? We have light ship conversations every day and they actually see light ships every day. I see light ships every day. They don't threaten me. Why? Because my vibration is high. If you raise your vibration, you're not going to get triggered. That one statement from those people that she had brought in question. There was a group of 3 or 4 people and they saw a light ship, and after they saw it, they felt an electrical hum. Yeah, because the light ship was carrying so much light, it adjusted their fields of energy. Because everything is magnetics. Each and every one of us exists within an 8 to 12 foot field of magnetics. And if you're dense, and if you're low vibrational, and if you have a low consciousness, and you're not connecting with spirit in any way, or nature in any way, or you have an attunement with who you are as spirit, and you don't have a self-actualization understanding, or a self-actualization knowing, or a spiritual knowing, if you have no knowing about yourself whatsoever, you will feel the magnetics of the energy. Of course you will. That light ship did you a favor. It adjusted and it recalibrated your field. Again, all of these things are answerable, but they put it out as if it's we're being attacked, we're being taken over. Oh my gosh. You know what? If we stayed in that type of consciousness, you'd be seeing the clones like the cults in Calgary. That's how humanity, just like the cults in Calgary that have no mind, they'd be lost, they'd be doing dark and nasty things, and they'd be cloaking themselves in every business like a church, or another business, or another business. And how many checks and balances were missed? How many banks, how many policing, how many lawyers, how many things were missed? Just to make sure that I was silenced and never heard from again, and actually blamed for the crimes of the people actually walking around doing the crimes. How is that? How is it that 50 checks and balances over 50 years get missed? How does it get missed? Because it's a program, because it's an absolute suicide mission for everybody that is involved to say, if you don't follow what we do, if you don't do what we do, and if you don't do what we're directing you to do, this is the outcome. Because I was the one person that survived. You weren't going to sacrifice me. You will never sacrifice me. I'm ranked. I'm more highly ranked than any person on this planet. And I think it's ignorant, and I think it's bad. I think it's bad will. It's not goodwill. It's not the greater good. You're not building bridges. I think whatever that newscast was this morning, I'm never going to watch global TV ever again. Period. That wasn't newsworthy at all. It was bigoted. And it was biased. For low consciousness, low vibrational, unintelligent people that don't have any right to say what they said and then produce it to the people without anyone coming forward that has ever channeled anyone that is absolutely aligned with higher consciousness. Because everything from here on out is a spiritual journey, has nothing to do with church and religion. Everything from here on out is a spiritual journey, doesn't have anything to do with church or religion. Everything from here on out is your alignment with who you are as your spirit, as your higher self, as your Metatronic light body, as your self-actualization. Look these things up, do your own homework. Because if you're not connected with spirit, and you're not connected with higher self, and you're not connected with consciousness, you're going to have no idea what you're talking about, and then you produce films like that, and you produce it to the people. Completely uneducated. Completely uneducated. Zero consciousness at all. Zero harmonization with source creator. Zero harmonization with spirit. Zero harmonization with intelligence. Zero harmonization with a meditation aligned with your higher self. A higher self would never say, put out that video. A higher self would have never said that. A higher self that was aligned, a higher self that does the work, a higher self that does the healing, a higher self that's balanced in divine feminine masculine energy would have never put out a video like that. Ever. Ever. I'm speaking on behalf of all starseeds on this planet where we're being suppressed left, right, and center, and we're being put into programs, and we're being put into little boxes, and we're being suppressed on every level because we are higher intelligent. We're bringing excuses, and we're bringing forward the absolute truth of the stupid things that are said on episodes like that. The light ships run from... I'll bring up the things. I only watched it for 5 minutes. For 5 minutes, this is how egregious it was after 5 minutes of watching it here and here on the video. I'll name the 5 points that were absolutely wrong information, low consciousness of the things that I saw and the things that I heard. They talked about their not knowing and they don't understand how the UFOs were built because they reverse engineered some of the light ships that had landed here. They can't figure it out because it's called consciousness. The light ships are run on consciousness, people. Do you understand consciousness? Consciousness is, who are you? In reflection of the greater good and the greater good of all that is the who are you, the greater grand God, the one that all that is. It has nothing to do with religion. I am in the omnipresent, it's a holographic reality, me and the all that is. And the all that is God, it's source creator. And source creator reflects a version back to you. You're like a dodecahedron, you're a little tiny speck of the God, of the God. The lower consciousness you are, the separate you are, the lower vibration you are, the lower intelligence you are, because there's no light running around your chakras, there's no light running around your field, there's no light running around your brain, there's no light getting into the brain. There's no light in the pineal, there's no light connecting you to your higher self. There's just no light. You're speaking low consciousness and low intelligence. If you're not aligned, if you're not healing your wounding of separatism and discrimination, then you will not be higher consciousness. You just won't. What was produced on that tape was absolutely low consciousness. And these people claim to be the leaders of the people. And yet they didn't call anybody in that actually deals with higher consciousness people that can explain every one of their statements. The light ships run from consciousness people. It doesn't need fuel. Oh my God. Like 6th and 7th dimensional beings, they run from consciousness people. They don't have gas stations on their planets. They don't need gas stations. They don't put a little gas thing in their light ship. They don't do that. They run from consciousness. They connect the being. They connect the essence of the material, just like our bodies. Our bodies are matter. Our bodies are matter. It is the spirit, is the consciousness that connects the matter with its spirit. Spirit is the quickeneth. Since the beginning of time. That's the statement. Spirit is the only quickeneth. Of course they don't have fuel light ships there. They don't have a big hose that puts fuel in the light ship. And they're not UFOs, they're light ships. Let's get advanced, dear lighted ones. Let's be 5D. Does everybody want to be 5D here? And if you don't, please move off my channel. If you want to sit there and be bigoted, and if you want to sit there and be discriminated, you want to sit there and be separatism, then go be on another channel. Don't be on this one. I have my rights to be who I am, and if they're going to shadow ban me, I'm going to say what is truth. I know truth, dear lighted ones. Higher consciousness is higher consciousness. Go listen to any channel, and they will answer any one of those questions that was brought up in that video. I'm asking everyone, go on the Gaia channel, do your research. Go to the channels of Lee Carroll and Daryl Scranton, all of these beings that are channel high consciousness beings. Go to their channels and listen to them. Write down your notes, leaders of the countries. Why do your people know more than you do? Then the other experience where there was a little group of 3 or 4 or 5 and they saw a light ship, and then the only words that they can surmise because they were feeding them, and it's called leading the witness. In a court of law, that would be called leading the witness. And that girl that was on the stand this morning, whatever stand she was on a bench, the dark-haired girl, she was leading the people into saying what she was wanting them to say. And in a court of law, that's called leading the witness. And in her leading statements, she was leading the statements to say, well, I wasn't sure of what I saw, and it did trigger a bit of energy that I felt fear, and I felt threatened. You didn't feel threatened. You felt fear because that's what you were triggered. These beings are you. They're your family in another dimension saying hi. And if you have blocks and if you have will, call Trump. The galactic federations have say over this planet, because it's been abused on every level. And the people that we have sent you to build bridges to higher consciousness, you've done nothing but abuse them. You've done nothing but keep them behind black magic and voodoo. And you've come close to killing them, however many times you've come close to killing them, if we would have allowed you. But we didn't allow you. We will not allow you to take out these light beings that are very highly ranked masters on the planet and are here to humanity to raise the consciousness. So how about those people that are putting out those videos actually get in touch with what consciousness is? Because none of you are consciously aligned. None of you. And it should be a shame on you for putting out that video where you're inciting fear to your people and you know it. That was leading the witness there, dear lady. Leading the witness. Calling judgment on that newscast. Be more responsible with your news stations, people. If you're not having people in that actually are higher consciousness, that do have experience with light ships, if you don't go on the Gaia channel at least once a week, that's a higher consciousness channel, giving you things on this planet where people actually do want to awaken and we want a higher truth. We don't want to stay in the box because that's our birthright. Our universal birthright trumps every low vibrational 3D box where people want to keep us stuck. No, we're going to grow, we're going to know, and we're going to glow. Period. My blood is filled with light. What is yours? Wanting to keep people stuck, that's what it is. And it's ignorant. Please forgive me, Father, for my transgressions. I was speaking on behalf of every alien and every celestial that's landed here in their light ship to build a bridge, and they've been taken apart by low vibrational leaders that want their DNA and want their information to see if they can weaponize them and demonize them. But you couldn't do it, did you? After how many tests and how many things that you've done to me? But you couldn't, did you? The MK Ultra. Why would you even come up with an MK Ultra agenda? Is your MK Ultra going to be used? Did you talk about your MK Ultra in your little meeting, in your little newscast? Did you talk about what you do to people? You don't, do you? No, you just talk about a UFO. Explain it. You can't explain the technology because you've tried to reverse engineer it 100 times. Why? Because it's all run by consciousness again. How many times are we going to say it? You're not going to figure it out. You're not meant to. Why? Because what you would do with it is you would make a weapon out of it, which is exactly what you were shown. You went and put a missile in the ocean and we took it away from you. You're just proving your own ignorance to your own self. You don't run this planet. You've done a very poor job of it. All you are doing is you're destroying it, and you're trying to show people that your power and your idiocy over others and your power over others and your information over others is how you're going to run a planet. It's not how you run a planet. That's not how you run a planet. That's how you run bullies. You're running a program of bullies, and the fittest will survive. And this fittest person did survive. And you're not going to take me. You're not going to study me. You're not going to try and reverse engineer me like you tried to do. And you're not going to try and clone me. I'm going to be exactly who I'm going to be. And I'm going to be a leader and a teacher and a healer on this planet. And if you had brought one of us in, Daryl Anka, or any of the channels on this planet, you would ask them to come in, and you would ask them in very honorable, say, we are humans. We are humans here. We want to understand the sky. We want to understand these beautiful beings that bring us light and save our bodies every night. You just don't remember it. The very people that are in that room, in that newscast, I guarantee you, can you give me a number, Spirit? 75 to 78% in 1 year from now will have had dreams and waking up and remembering themselves on other planets and other beings and seeing their celestial beings and their celestial families around them and with them within 1 year, because people are awakening to higher consciousness and who we truly are. That's the grand part of that room, isn't it? 75 to 78%. So what are they trying to do? They're trying to instill fear in you. If there's something outside there that you don't understand, what do? You bring a missile to it? Is that your answer? No, you sit and you build bridges and you ask questions. You bring people in that are higher conscious, higher intelligence. The ones that haven't been able to be sacrificed and killed by you. I want a full investigation done on everybody that's been taking money and bidding on the black web. I want to know where the monies are coming from. I want the top dog. I want the monies of everybody that's been pulling money together to try and take me out with their dumbass sacrificing. I want to know where the monies are coming from and who they are. I want to know who these top dogs are. Where are they threaded to? I want that thread to be taken all the way back. Who are the people that are directing me to be taken out and killed on every day? I want these threads known, and I want them known to the human public on every level. And if you would have had anybody of higher consciousness in on that news program, they would have exactly stated everything that has gone in that news program. They would have given you answers for everything. On everything. It would have been a celebration. We would have had dinner. We would have broke bread together. That shows you again where their intention is at. Intention is everything. Intention was filled in that room, and the intention had nothing to do with building bridges and bringing peace and higher intelligence and higher intellect and allowing the people to know who they are with our celestial families. There was nothing to do about oneness and unity at all. Even as they were talking about their missiles being taken out of the ocean. They were taken out of the ocean for the benevolence of the ocean. Duh. How dare people, and why Why would you even glorify somebody that took your missile out of your ocean so that you couldn't destroy something and blow up about 100 cetaceans that had your soul memory inside of it? But again, that's low consciousness. That's where you sit. And so I'll forgive you. But how many times are you going to do this? How many times are you going to incite war on the people when it's not necessary at all? How about you start focusing on unity? How about you start focusing on being great leaders instead of making missiles and bombs? And actually talk to people and be higher consciousness and start bringing out light wisdoms and start bringing out light wisdom teachings, start bringing out unity conscious and awakening your gifts with spirit. Because if you awoken your gifts with spirit, your spirit guides would have told you everything before you went out and looked so stupid. Because in another 5 years from now, everybody's going to be looking at that newsreel and they're going to be saying, boy, oh boy, look where we were 5 years ago. Let's celebrate. Look at how subjugated and ignorant and discriminated we were 5 years ago. Because now you're doing meditation. Now you're connecting with your higher self. Now you're actually talking to spirit. Now you're actually talking with Celestials, Pleiadians, Andromedans, Syrians. They don't have any desire to take over our planet, people. They're here on behalf of the Father's divine plan. Because that trumps all in the multiverse. I'm going to stick up for every Celestial that's ever been taken apart. I'm standing up for every star seed that gets ignored. I'm standing up for every star seed that gets ridiculously trafficked and raped and lured into prostitution because this is the level of intelligence. Because they're not willing to go in and seek their own light. They want to take it from star seeds and then they want to do silly little things like that to make sure that anybody that comes forward as a star seed and anyone that comes forward with any type of leadership or energy, because we've been proven we're going to survive sacrifice, we're going to survive the idiot programs that are out there. We're going to survive MK Ultra and we're going to survive all these things that have been done to us. How is it even okay that anybody stands in a leadership position to even say that, yeah, we've done that to you? That's why they're refusing to pay me the money I'm owed and my birth records, because they don't want to be held liable and accountable. And it's going to be a multi-million-dollar lawsuit of inhumane treatment, absolute subjugation, absolute discrimination on every level. And there is rock-hard evidence. Rock-hard evidence. We will evolve beyond barbarism, and we will not put missiles in our oceans, period. Didn't I state that in a video? There will be no nuclear weapons ever. And then you wonder why there's tsunamis. Oh, but they want to make you to believe that it's a natural thing. No, it's not natural. It's the things you're doing in the oceans you're not obliged to do because you don't own the oceans. They are of the people's. Put your guns away, and these are the leaders. How many years have we been talking about this? How many years have we been talking about this? Discern what your leaders are saying and showing you. Go look at that newscast, and I want every person to sit down, go through and just clear their fields and ground and center. Make sure you're grounding, make sure you're centering, release all notions of all energies and all projections. And I want you to see for yourself, choose for yourself, choose for yourself. What are these things that are being said, and how do I believe what is true? I want you to go within your very center of your heart and know what is true for you. Don't go by anybody else, what anybody else is saying. Go within and know what is true for you. And then you ask yourself, if those people, if what you're hearing is what side are you going to jump on? Are you going to jump on building bridges? I haven't seen one of these people build bridges. Not one person from the government has contacted me. There ain't been no building bridges, and you know it hasn't. Not one penny has crossed my desk. Not one penny. And they're going to come out with anything that's celestial and anything that's alien, anything that's higher advanced, anything that is light ship, anything that is anything that we talk about as building bridges, our higher conscious, that's our right to know, it's our right to be. It's who we are as universal beings. We're not just little vibrational US beings, US of States beings, or we're not just Canadian beings. No, we're actually universal beings. Trump that. It has nothing to do with Trump the person. I'm saying our order trumps your order of smallness, of disregard, of disrespect, of inhumaneness. Do you know that we helped teach all of you how to write on caves? Do you know that we helped teach all of you how to put seeds in the ground? Do you know that we helped all of you to learn how to say and make motions and make sounds and dance and heal yourselves? Did you know that we did that? Each and every one of you standing on this planet today, every single one of you have celestial and alien DNA within you. And it's a matter of your consciousness that matters on what codon will be awoken. How much light are you working with? How much source creator are you working with? These are the same people that put chemtrails in the air to hide the sun, because they don't want you to get the codes from the sun. Gaia knows exactly what she's doing, dear lighted ones. Go listen to Lee Carroll's videos on the wobble. Go listen to Lee Carroll's videos on the tracking that has been done on the Earth's atmosphere and the Earth's temperatures. Go watch his videos. He is the only channel that has been tracking and that knows about and that speaks about the tracking from the earliest of times on Gaia's temperatures. Go watch his video. Do your research, people, before you say such idiocies. That's biased. That video program was biased. And when she did ask questions to people that were not of her company, she was leading the witnesses so that she would make sure that they would say exactly how she was guiding them to say what was being guided. And that one young gentleman, that one person said, well, if I don't say that I know light ships or I'm okay with light ships, then it's just going to be a conspiracy or it's going to be this or that and I'll be taken away to jail. You've already told me that. So they prep their people before they go up on the stand. Well, if you don't say it the way we want it, if you don't say it the way we're going to say it, if you know more about light ships and you don't think you know about light ships because you might have more technology, you might have more information, then we have the right to take you away and put you in jail. Well, how about we just talk about what's really truth? What's really truth is that consciousness of UFOs don't need fuel. They run on consciousness. Maybe if you go watch a few Gaia programs, maybe if you watch a few channelers, maybe if you watch people that incite health and healing, and maybe the bridge building, maybe if you had built some bridges a long time ago with Eisenhower, maybe you would be a little bit more advanced in your intelligence. Because you're not working from light intelligence, you're working from fear and darkness and control and domination. And why you set missiles off in the ocean. Your actions are indicative of your consciousness, period, point blank. And there's your court case right there. Intentions where your karma starts, period. Leading the witness. Sustained. Okay, now we're going to practice. Yeah, let's shake out some of that energy. Please bathe me with the Holy Christ. Thank you, Holy Spirit, for allowing me to have my voice on these issues that have brought me such concern over the past 50 years of how people have been so ignorant on how they treat celestial life and higher vibrational life and higher consciousness life when we've been here since the beginning of time. But they've kind of written us out of the contracts. They've kind of written us out of Egyptology. They've written us out of everything that is everything higher intelligence. Celestials have been here since day one, dear lighted ones, and the masters that have come before you, like such beings like Tesla, have been very high vibrational beings. And sometimes through these high vibrational beings, they get targeted the most. They get teased the most, and they sometimes die in utter poverty. Because they're just 100 years, 10 years, 10 light years, 11 light years, 100 light years away from any of you that are working in the darkness and the low consciousness. So all we ask of you is that if you're going to put out news vibrational stations like that where you're touching on all people, when you're touching on people that actually want to awaken to a higher reality beyond controlled information and beyond barbarianism, beyond missiles in your very oceans that are the actual water that you drink, how much sense does that make? Let's go test the oceans with our nuclear missiles and our bombs. How much sense does that make when the only water we have on our planet is the oceans? The only water we have on our planet for our food, for our mature, for the motions of our planet and how our planet moves with the gravity and the moon, all of these things that matter so much. And how much sense does it make? Let's detonate them off inside the oceans. We haven't done enough damage on the people in Gaza. You haven't done enough damage back east. You haven't done enough damage where? Where else do you want to do damage? So now let's do the oceans. Let's start just doing whatever we want. And how higher consciousness is that? Does that sound light intelligence? If anybody was aligned in their light consciousness, anybody aligned with their higher self, take a deep breath, open up your pillar of light. Pillar of light, la-di-da-di-da-di-da. I'm such a fairy. They're saying, the Galactic Federations are saying with me right now, I asked them to come in and be present with me because they knew I was they're going, just relax, Joanna, it's okay. We're used to it. we're used to the silly things that they say to try and incite war when they see a light ship. We've been here since the beginning of time, darlings. What are you afraid of? Hello. Hello. You know, I'm the channel that you go to for all your predictions, and then you go and write it down and pretend that you know something. Hello. So you use us and you abuse us and you try and take us out and you try and do your reverse psychology and you try and do your reverse cloning. You try and do your reverse little mad scientist Epstein-like bullshit. And then when you don't get what you want, then you're going to put out little newscasts like this and say we're on the brink of a third world war. I'll tell you one thing right now. There is nothing on any level of anything of any level of intelligence. There is not one galactic star being. There's not one being from the galactic federations that would ever ignite war. They would never even say such a statement. It is such low consciousness and it's ridiculous idiocy. No higher vibrational being would say such a thing. When they can come and place evidence of a court case of someone that has been abused for her entire life and been sent hexes and curse work and lies and defamations and exploitations and selling her name and her energy to the black web to see who can take her out this time, have her being sold to fake cults and covens and have her being managed and handled and have her being surveillanced illegally and spied on illegally for her entire life while the men in the little cameras that are watching her are jacking off. You don't think that I know? So then you send one of them to me in person with their car in their little blue Tesla to sit beside me on the beach. That actually happened twice. The same person, the same car, the same location twice. Pulled out his dick and started jacking off. Is that supposed to intimidate me? And what is that supposed to tell me, dear lighted ones? What is that supposed to tell me? Okay, so you have a dick and you think you can jack off wherever you want. It's illegal. And I reported you to the RCMP twice. I have my rights to be anywhere I want. I have my rights to write anything I want. I have the rights to be exactly who I am. I am higher intelligence and I'm a healer. And I'm one of the world's top leaders. That's why I was initiated with all of you. Because Spirit knew a day like this would come. The people aren't going to be led by cruelty, disembarkment of respect of all life. We have brought you language. We have brought you codes. We have brought you love. We have brought you saving of your planet infinite number of times. And only those people in higher consciousness alignments will understand that. They won't be led by fear anymore. You are inciting fear among your people, and you should be ashamed. Celestials build bridges. We don't bring war. You do. Take a deep breath, dear lighted ones. We're going to play some more with our cards today. I'm asking for the highest level of prayers and lights to be bathed over everybody that was in that news thing, whatever is news. It wasn't news. It wasn't news at all. It was just a biased indignation of what might be seen as higher intelligence in our families and our celestials and aspects of you. And every single person that states in ignorance like that, all of those celestials are aspects of you, waiting for you to wake up and say, can we be one? Can we build a bridge? How about we try and heal ourselves without pharma? How about we try and heal ourselves without the lies of big pharma, without the lies of this and this and this, and those people that are trying to suppress humanity so much so that it's okay for them to say numb and dumb within communities that are sent black magic 24/7 or biotechnical warfare. How many times did you try and get me to submit? How many times, Spirit, can we have a number since the day that I was born here? The beings that were trying to make me submit, I want every count. And that includes thought forms. We're getting into this is Spirit's dictation of the numbers that have been placed upon my life since the day that I was born. And I still don't have my proper birth documents or my birth registrations. I don't have any information about my birth that the shadow government absolutely knows about, that the shadow government was spying on me and watching me and studying me from every angle. And then some of them jacking off because they just like what they see. They like the starseed energy. There is a count up to 18,000. 18,000 counts, that includes thought forms. For me to shut up in silence and sit down, I'm not worthy here. Celestials would never, ever, 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 Celestials would never, ever say such things to a human. Celestials allow you through the thoughts of free will. Free will, the right use of free will and non-interference is the #1 law. Every Celestial within the Galactic Federation, speaking through Commander Ashtar now. The Galactic Federation upholds every law within the galaxy. For it's not our place to come in and place ourselves upon any planet and say it's ours now. That is not our way. That is your way. We uphold the laws of the universe. the right use of free will, and we only take action and only if it becomes detriment to the people and the planet that is reliant on other planets within the galaxy. Because your waters are very sacred. You might not know that, but they are. And being one of the few planets that has water in the galaxy, perhaps you might want to take that as a heed. That what leader would absolutely put missiles in their oceans if you are one of the only water-based planets in the galaxy? Commander Ashtar is not that temperament, that's mine. Commander Ashtar's like sitting back. I'm the one in the body. I'm the one in the human body. I'm the one in the human body that takes all the energies from the field and transmutes it. I'm transmuting a lot of the ignorant energies since I was born here. Just because you don't understand something, my gosh, please, can we learn from this? If you don't understand something, then go do research and seek it out. And we're not meaning Google and your seeking out of your books, of your classes, of your 3D classes, of your 3D schools. You're going to have to go higher consciousness because humanity is at a pivot point. Humanity will see unto itself, and segments like that are necessary. News segments like that are necessary for each human on the planet to see and discern within itself. Do I choose to believe in this? Is this something I choose to believe in? Where do I stand on my own? Speak for thine spirit. I'm speaking for thine spirit, and it's been nothing but discrimination since the day I was born. And I'm speaking on behalf of every celestial, of every hybrid, of every indigo, of every starseed, of every other person that's on this planet that is not a middle-aged white man. We don't want to learn from the same books. We want to take our consciousness higher. We're going to learn about light. We're going to learn about our chakras. We're going to learn about everything that's in our chakras that give us access to all things in the universe. And we're going to do it peacefully and honorably because we respect energy. Because I can read energy. And the energy from that newscast this morning, it wasn't nice at all. Not nice at all. That energy was not balanced on any level. So now we're going to balance ourselves, dear lighted ones. Discern what you see, hear, and read. And this is where it gets like every time humanity gets to a checkpoint and gets to that next over and next over and next over, and we get to those what are those things called, hurdles? Every time we get to a beautiful hurdle where we're meant to transcend and we're meant to push that membrane, this is one of the membranes. Because you're going to be getting feedback from the governments because they don't want you to expand. They don't want you to go into light consciousness. They don't want you to know who you are. And they don't want to feed yourself with light. They don't want you to reconnect with source. This is their intention. Because if it was their intention for you to be expanded, they would have my light wisdom teachings in free will to the people. But it's not. My channel is still shadow banned. My channel is still watched on every level to see who I get to see, who gets to see me, and who doesn't get to see me. And then it's backed up by silly little newscasts like that say they're in the middle of a third world. The Celestials would never ever do such to life because it's God's life, period. They respect God on all levels. They respect the Divine Father's plan. They can see blueprints up to 1 million different timelines and dimensions and universes. They have access to the blueprints. They have access to every soul on this planet because there's important souls on this planet that will bring higher intelligence and higher teachings on this planet. I'm not the only one. There's lots of higher intelligent beings on this planet that are just waking up. And just watch what we're going to do. We're going to heal every disease on this planet through herbs and natural healing, period. We're going to bring this to the highest creative planet ever born in the galaxy, period. These are my responsibilities, dear lighted ones, and I'm going to free every child that has ever been trafficked, period, because there's no need for trafficking and missiles in the ocean. Get smart, dear lighted ones. Light ships don't need fuel. They don't gas up at pumps. They don't have Enron. Higher consciousness beings, dear lighted ones, you can tell the difference between consciousness enlightenment, those that are enlightened, those that are connected with their higher selves, and those that are completely in darkness. And they want to keep rotating in what they are fed. And leading the witnesses on everybody that got up to answer questions that she was asking. It's called leading the witness. There wasn't a judge there, was there, though? No, but I can read energy. You wonder what Anubis is right behind me. We are higher order and we are higher order courts. And what we saw was abysmal, because if that was a courtroom, she would have been called for leading the witness. Sustained. Sit down, counselor. Thank you, Anubis. Thank you, Commander Ashtar. So Commander Ashtar just says that we are watching your oceans very carefully, because there doesn't seem to be as much care on your oceans as they have. And they will pull rank if they will. They will absolutely pull rank. Do you ever wonder why this is one of the only planets of water on the galaxy? to have as much water as we do. This planet is a jewel, and she will not be disrupted any further than what she has, and we will pull rank, period. Because your ignorance is not putting any more damage on this planet than has been done, and the damage to the waters that has been done, and the damage to the air that has been done. These people will get their higher wisdoms if they so desire. And if they don't, then they will absolutely be in the consciousness they will be at. They have a free will. If they don't want to ascend, if they don't want to expand, if they don't want to grow, if they don't want to know who their souls are, if they don't want to know celestials, if they don't want to know these things, that's free will. But you're not going to stop them and keep suppressing them. They have their rights. They have their universal rights to be and know who they are. Period. I have my universal right to be and say and speak and dance and create who I am. I am that I am. And I will not be silenced, and I will not be put down, and I will not be sacrificed as many times as you are. And watch all the karma that's coming back to every single person that's put their hand, chanting, willing, voodoo, and the dolls that you got behind in your closet with all the pins in it. You ain't going to sacrifice me, and I ain't going to shut up, and I ain't standing down. I'm here for every child that's being trafficked. You better bet I ain't going to shut up. Yeah, that suits your name. Get off my channel. Building bridges. Watch those IP addresses, Interpol. I want those IP addresses. I want them available when I'm charging everybody in criminal court. I want the IP addresses and the connections that they have and the cults that they belong to and who's paying them. I want the information. And I'm going to be hiring investigators, and we're going to pull everybody out that's ever been involved in damning me, in harassing me, in following me, and stalking me, and illegally surveillancing me, illegally changing forms, illegally changing fabrication of birth forms, illegally changing medical forms. I am a genius. There is nothing wrong with me. I am merely a passionate person coming forward to say, it is not okay that ignorant leaders get to stand up and say and do these things behind the people's back, and the people don't know about it. And the only way you know about it is when you're coming forward in a so-called conference and you're telling people that there might be a third world war when it's just your ignorance. There's no knowledge in your speech whatsoever. You're not connected with your higher self. You're not connected with spirit. Your speech has no intelligence whatsoever. Therefore, then, is it okay to put it out to the people and say what you said? It's ignorant speech. And there are people like myself that have the right to come forward and say, what you're putting out is unfair, just information. It's not fair. It's not balanced at all. You're coming from an imbalanced person. You're speaking about things that you don't know about, because if you did know about them, you'd have better answers. You don't have better answers. All you have is, because we don't know about it, we're going to be on guard. We don't know about the technology, we're going to be on guard. If we don't know about it, we're going to start bringing our bombs out. Well, if somebody's taking a missile out of our oceans, what do you think that means? It means you can say thank you for not destroying our oceans. You might have another can of tuna to eat. I don't understand how this is just not common sense. You put missiles in your ocean, are you serious? And then you want to go to the store and buy a can of tuna. And how much money was that missile? That one missile that went off in the ocean. I want the leaders. I want the leaders to sit down, and I want answers to these questions. I want to know, how much was that missile that you put in that ocean that was taken away by those celestials so very gallantly and delightfully and peacefully? Thank you, celestials. Thank you, Galactic Federation, for saving humanity one more day. I want to know how much that missile was. I want to know how much it was to create it. I want to know the companies behind that made it. I want to know who was the person that said we're going to put this in the ocean and we're going to detonate it. I want these people's names. I want to know the companies behind them. And I want to know if any of these companies are connected to Big Pharma. I am higher order, dear lighted ones. There's always a threat, and there's always about money and greed. Because they don't care about the human people. They don't care about life. They don't care about source. They're trying to block source out. They're trying to cover up the sun so that you never get to see the sun, so that you never get to know the sun, you never get to see your codes. Every day, bow to the sun and say, may I have my codes for today, dear lighted ones. And you say, thank you, Mother, Father, thank you, Source Creator, for giving me the codes of life. Because isn't life a bit more important than blowing things up in the ocean? Do they ever talk about life? Do they talk about life in these series and these segments? Do they talk about building bridges to higher consciousness? Do they talk about how glorious it feels, and then you just break down in tears when you are healed, and when you are connected with source, and when you are connected with spirit, and you are connected with your heart? Does anybody talk about that? But if you watch some of the videos and you watch Gaia, all of us light workers are the same type of being. We only care about the highest consciousness for the highest level of life on our planet, and to continue it for eternity. That's the Father's plan. Because the Father's plan is not about death and destruction and taking people out. The Father's plan is about evolution, because it's our birthright. And we need to transcend beyond low vibrational 3D Epstein consciousness, because that's what that is. Epstein consciousness is debauchery and corruption, and saying one thing to the public without doing your due diligence and due process. What was your due process on that missile in the ocean? I want to know the outcome. What did the military say about the process and the outcome of that missile in the ocean? Do you understand the consciousness that you have and the high consciousness that you have? Part of it is in the ocean. So if you destroy the consciousness in the ocean, what happens, dear lighted ones? What happens to the water you drink? What happens to the Christ consciousness that runs through your body to allow you to link to your Pleiadian DNA, to link to your celestial DNA, to link to your eternal life, to link to eternal life throughout all creation, and your souls that are on other planets and other councils and other realms? Ignorance is thinking that you are not connected to anything except the little body you sit in. And then you read the same books that your parents read, you go to the same schools and teach them, you're taught the same things that your parents were. And so how evolved is that? You don't learn anything about light, you don't learn anything about your consciousness, you don't learn anything about your chakras, you don't learn anything about the fields you sit in. Because none of you practice it and none of you clear your fields every day. Unless you're an awakened person and you're worthy and you're wanting to get on board and you're wanting to be inciting with light and you're wanting to call in light on everything that you say and do because it feels good, because you feel healed, because you finally feel like you're in command of your own life now. You finally feel like you're in command of your own health now. You finally see the light ships in the sky that are dancing with you as you're dancing with them because they offer light. There's millions of light ships in our skies, dear lighted ones. And if they were going to take over and take our planet over and do what was done to me, it would have been done a long time ago when Eisenhower was in power, because that's when the U.S. government sought its own self to say, we're going to take the information and we're going to breach this contract. You were supposed to build bridges with Celestials and you didn't. You reverse engineered and you put the DNA and you did all these things that you did you weren't supposed to do. And we forgave you for that. There's only so many ways and so many times and so many know-hows that you can be ignorant and say, oh, I didn't know. We've been talking and you've been following us and you've been stalking and spying and surveillancing us. And there hasn't been 1 ounce of goodwill that has ever been done or said to me. Not 1 ounce, not 1 drop. And I still sit homeless and I still bring forward the highest consciousness teachings. Because there are people out there that do have their birthright and their birthright will be fulfilled. That is the Father's promise. And nobody on this planet, doesn't matter how many bars you got on your suit. It doesn't matter where you think you come from and what evidence you think you have. You don't, because you're not connected with Source. You're not connected with Spirit. You want your words to be right and you want your words to reign. And we're telling you, this planet will no longer be reigned by fear and control and domination. Your time was up. This is my garden, dear lighted ones. And there will not be nuclear wars in this garden. And there will not be a third world war. Period. Take a deep breath. Thank you, Holy Spirit. The consciousness of this planet is growing and expanding with every day. There are sacred teachings from all temples, from all lands, from all planets that you are now awakening to. And you are not the only life that is on this planet. Never have you been, never will you ever be. Because this planet is a part of the multiverse. And she is very important to the multiverse. She will not be owned or controlled by anyone. Period. Get used to it. People that run your borders. This planet is a jewel to all creation. This planet is a jewel to the galaxy, and her word and her consciousness has been trumped, and her consciousness has been laughed on and abused on every level, just like the divine daughter before you. And this is where the juxtaposition and this is where the similarities are coming forward. That every one of you can pick and pull on your own. Find out who and what you are within the divine Adam Eve program. To find what and who you are within divine program of all that is. Because how is it similar that this divine daughter, been trashed and thrashed as a Messiah that she said she is, that Gaia is? Gaia is a Messiah. Gaia is of the waters that she is because of why. You look around, how many planets are like her? In higher consciousness, there are many planets like her, but in a 3rd to 5th dimension, there's not many like her. And yet, why would any leader do such detrimental things with such low consciousness and they have no idea what they're doing, nor do they choose to watch programs from Gaia, nor do they choose to sit down and speak with Spirit, nor do they choose to sit down with their celestial guides, nor do they choose to understand light ships or UFOs. They're not unidentified, they're light ships. You're unidentifying them because that's where you want them to remain. You want them to remain separate. You want them to remain unidentified. They're light ships, people. They're from our celestial star beings. Our star families, the ones we come from. And it's time humanity awakens. This is divine timing. This is called divine timing, directed by the Holy Father. Yes, the Holy Father and the Mother, they're mothers and fathers of all children. They're mothers and fathers to the Pleiadians, they're mothers and fathers to Sirians, they're mothers and fathers to the Greys, they're mothers and fathers to the Light Zetas, they're mothers and fathers to the Cassiopeians, they're mothers and fathers to the Lyrians, they're mothers and fathers to the Andromedans. How many children does the mother and father have? Infinite. Insectoids, imp hybrids. How about we get allness? How about we get oneness? How about we get unity? How about we build a bridge? We'll see how many of my streams are pilfered when I upload this. We'll see how many they've taken away of my views. Please share my video. It's time that the collective know about our light wisdom teachings. And we're going to call upon the divine white light of the Holy Christ. Please bathe any of those that are remaining spirit, of those that want to move their consciousness and expand their consciousness into the highest realms of being and light. And open up your pillar of light. And ground, and ground, and ground, and ground, and ground, and ground, and ground. Asian Amakata Kishan and Akata de Kana Makata de Kana Ka. See Amakata de Ka. She Amakate Sianama Ea Eteke Amasea Eteke Amasea Ishana Makete Ana Eke Seama Eteke Shana Makata de Kishan. I call in all my light, I call in all my energy. I call in all my light, I call in all my energy. I call in all my light, I call in all my energy. I'm a very passionate person, dear lighted people. I'm a very passionate person. And when I see life so blatantly abused, and it's been abused on my life for 50 years, and I've been very tempered, and I've been very, very patient, I've been very kind. I've been very tolerant about everybody that's come back to me to say that they refuse to give what's mine back to me. They refuse to give me what is legally mine. And I've been very, very patient, and so has the heavens, and so have the light beings, and so have all of the celestials and ancestors and beings that are working on my behalf so that I may sit in my position that I have earned over lifetimes. And I've been patient in every time that I've integrated those soul fragments that I have learned so many wonderful lessons on. And part of that impassioned energy was coming from that timeline from the 50s. Because nobody had a right to do what they did to me then. But they did. And I had to heal from it. And so here I am in this body, and you will not take me apart, and you will not study me, and you will not put me in a little cage, and you will not put illegal surveillancing on me, although you did when I was younger. And you followed me for as long as you could and placed people before me as obstacles. And you put me in your little human hunger games, and your little human hunting games. How did that feel? How did that make you feel, oh leaders? Oh shadow governments? I want you to know, in your names and in your place, I want you to know that that's the story that you're going to live with. That you were a part of the shadow government, that you chose debauchery, that you chose dishonesty, that you chose shadow, that you chose negativity, that you choose doing illegal things, that never once was there a signature, never once was there permission, never once did anybody sit before me and say, can we have a medical exam and can we have a medical assessment to see really what's going on? Because we don't understand you. We want to put a power of attorney over you so that we can control every part of your life, so that we can also manage your funds and we can also manage the money that sits behind you, because we know that you're an absolute royal being from the heavens. There's always agendas behind 3D people, always agendas, and it never has anything to do with your benevolence. It doesn't have anything to keeping you safe. There's been not one human on this planet that's kept me safe. Not one human. The only reason why I sit here today is because of the Father's plan. And I will ascend everyone that has thrown a spell, a curse, or trying to get me locked up for their crimes and falsifying paperwork. How many pieces of paper were falsified, Spirit? Close to 188. I didn't sign any of these papers. I've never even seen them. I've never even read them. How's that possible? How is it possible there's names that is mine on paperwork and I've never seen these pieces of paper that are of legal content? How come I've never seen them? Because they're hoping to keep me out of it as long as possible. Because I do have a voice of my own. And I will say what is right. And I will say what is just. It is not okay that you judge something and you discriminate something and you separate something and you incite fear into the people. When the people that should be feared are the very ones in the offices that do such things and create such agendas like MK Ultra and Project Stargate and pay minions in little communities and little societies and cults and covens and little warlocks and witches and voodooists and practitioners around the planet to take one innocent healer out. and to make sure that her life is damned on all levels so that she never gets up again. And you just ache that she commits suicide, because it would be so much easier for your non-accountability stories that you don't want to have to come forward with, and that you will have to pay her back every penny. Because you didn't have a right to touch her life. You didn't have a right. And yet you did everything in your power to destroy her. You used her, you studied her, you did everything that you could as long as you got what you wanted. And then when she started to wake up beyond your consciousness, beyond your intelligence, and you could not explain her away, and you could not keep her in your box, and you could not willfully control her and handle her. The people will wake up and we will move beyond handling. How dare we? Children will be as expansive and as illuminated as they so choose. These children will be all that they can be. And they will never have a handler, and they will never have a pimp unless they willingly go into the sex trade business. They have to willingly go. Not have spell work and mind projections and mind scraping and ill intent experiences where the parents are doing black voodoo on them in the house because they want to get an insurance claim, or they want to just keep doing so much mind magic on them that they don't know who they are. And they're just going to say yes to anything. And if they don't say yes, then maybe they're going to drug them with a little drink, put something in their drink and make them go to a party they don't really want to go to because they've said no with their free will. Not only are you abusing the free will and the laws of the universe, you're not only abusing spiritual laws that is going to affect your soul, it's going to affect your children's soul and your children's karma from here on out. And we've said this how many times, but the people still show up from government and still put out newscasts like that. They don't care about their soul's progression. They will never remove themselves from Epstein Earth. They'll remain on Epstein Earth for as long as they shall live. And it will be ever darker and ever darker and ever darker, because no body will survive without light. No planet will survive without light. No planet will survive with missiles in the oceans. And it will become what? That's what we said from day one. It's a red flag experience, and it's going into extinction. So what part of the infinity do you want to be on? Do you want to be on the entropy, or do you want to be on eternal life? If you're going to be on eternal life, you must call in light and work with light every day. And know that we are all one within this universe. We are universal beings. Get out of your box. This is why there's been so much war, because you can't even get along with your neighbor next door, let alone celestials. There won't be a third world war. Grow up. Put your sticks down and stop your bullying. You will not lead witnesses in situations like that. You're not going to lead the witnesses. And if these people have experiences with light ships, if people want to know more about light ships, people speak about light ships because they can channel the information, they're not going to be put in jail. How idiotic. No, they're speaking of intelligence, of mechanisms and technology and innovativeness that at some point we will get and we will learn. But it's got to be proved by source first, because every time that humanity has had higher technology, they've abused it and they've weaponized it. Period. Go to every other channel and they say the same message. Do your homework. And until you get out of bullying, there's no way that humanity will have higher technology. And they'll still think that everything has to be run by fuel. Again, it's your intelligence level. Again, it's your consciousness level. Again, consciousness equals higher intelligence. If you think that you're the only person and you're separate from everything else, that's your consciousness level. You're not the only person. Everything outside of you is one. Everything outside of you is one. Everything outside of you is one. It's a reflection of Source Creator. And your consciousness level grows in that. Your consciousness level grows as long as you grow. And if you have a low vibration, if you have low consciousness, if you don't think that you're a part of anything, if you want to be separate, if you want to be condemned, if you want to be debauchery, and you hide behind things, and you hide behind this, and you hide behind that, and you do all these low vibrational, high stake programs, then that will be a low consciousness, and you will never know anything beyond darkness. Just as we've said many, many times, if you're looking through a telescope up into the sky, a 3D person will not see what a 5D person does. Because their consciousness is open, they can see more things. It's all about consciousness, dear lighted ones. And because consciousness has not been taught on this planet, you're seeing exactly the ramifications and the consequences. Because if you don't understand something, what do? You incite a third world war. Are you kidding me? Does that sound intelligent? My God. Interpol investigations, make sure you mark down these IP addresses, please. And there will be investigations on behind every one of them. They're not my clients. Again, this is a free will channel. If you had higher intelligence, you would know that. You can go onto your dark channels and you go onto your satanic channels that show you how to do rituals and how to take people out and how to sacrifice them. If you want to believe one thing, then go on your channel and say, this channel is only for the things that I want to believe. You can go on your one belief channel, and you can go on your one belief thing, and you can state out your one belief sentences and your statements, and you can be as low conscious as you want. This is a high consciousness channel. We're going to talk about high consciousness things. That's why you say such low consciousness things. You got that address, Interpol? Yes, they've got the address. Bye. Interpol is investigating everybody that has a statement. Even if you think you're going to hide it in a different name. Just make it known everybody's IP addresses are going to be investigated. I don't deserve to be bullied every day because I come forward and I speak higher intelligence. I'm calling these people that are low consciousness out. I am thine voice of thine Father in the heavens and the Mother Father and the galactic federations. And there will be certain things that the systems of light have say over. And when it comes to detriment in the oceans and detriment to the life of the cetaceans, we absolutely will come in. We absolutely will, because you don't have any right. You've done enough damage in Gaza. Wasn't that enough? Wasn't that enough damage? You've done enough damage to the daughter. Wasn't that enough? She's still sitting homeless. Wasn't that enough? Or do any of you care? Any of the leaders, I want to ask you right now, do any of you care what it's like to be homeless for one night as a divine feminine healer? As somebody that cares so much about life that walks by her, every day she sends light to everybody that walks by her. Do you care that she has been homeless? You don't care, do you? All you care about is your little news programs going out with uneducated sightings. Because you're not high consciousness. You don't have any light rolling around in your body at all. It's not connected with source or spirit at all. You will not be evolved at this point. That's okay. You're just showing it to yourself and you're showing it to your collective, where your evolution is at and where your intelligence is at. And if you can't substantiate, and if you can't verify the technology, then oh boy, let's just incite war. We're going to all be threatened here. No, that's just what you're just inciting that to the people that are willing to believe it. But as light continues every day, and as people awaken every day, and as people like myself every day work with everybody else to show them how to work with light and how to work with our chakras, how to call in the light and how to connect with Source Creator, there's going to be more and more of us awaken every day, and we will be protected. Make no mistake about that. You will not take us out, and we have our free rights to speak, because we speak intelligence. We speak unity consciousness. Look up consciousness, and it's going to be a Google consciousness, it's not going to be true consciousness. So then you're going to have to watch some light workers. You're going to have to watch Gaia for a little while. You're going to have to read books like Greg Braden. Higher consciousness people, where there's actually spirit infused in the words. Spirit is infused in my words. Spirit is infused in my codes. I activate people with codes. And why people sometimes do get triggered. The people that she was asking questions on, the words that they were saying and how they could describe it from a low consciousness state was that they were in fear and they felt threatened. Those are just the words they were using. They were triggered. They were supposed to be triggered. I trigger people all over the place because my vibration is different. It doesn't mean I have an Uzi. Oh my gosh. Consciousness is just unbelievable. My vibration and my energy triggers people because it's triggering what is not in light. It is triggering what is not in truth. You're meant to be triggered so that you can go look at your beliefs. What do I believe to be true? Just because I see a light ship, does that mean it's fearful? No, it just means you don't have a consciousness to understand the light ship and the energy in it. And why you don't have the consciousness to understand that it doesn't need fuel. And why you don't have the consciousness to understand that it can go from here to the other end of the galaxy in a breath just like that. Because it doesn't have to go from here to here to here to here to here. It doesn't have to go from Utah to Seattle to Canada. It doesn't have to do that. It's called vibrational location. It just goes to the vibration of whatever location it wants to be at. We keep teaching you these things, but then you come back and you say silly things like that without even bringing people like myself into the conversation. Again, they're showing you right there that they don't want intention to have higher consciousness. They don't want the bridge. They want to remain in low consciousness, spiraling around in a circle of nothingness. So then spiral in nothingness. But you're not going to be putting missiles in this ocean. You just won't. You want to go and blow up a planet, then go blow up a planet. That's your doing. That will not be on this planet. I want to see the equation. I want to see the actual equations. I want to see everybody in a room and I want to ask the equation. What is the equation of that missile in that ocean? And you have no idea about consciousness. You have no idea about spirit. You have no idea about the damages that you do with an intention to set off a missile. With the intention alone, just like the Father said, there was 18,000 imprints and projections at me to stop in silence and go away and die. 18,000. 18,000 just on my one life. That includes actions, that includes rituals, that includes spell work, it includes sacrifices. 18,000 that I have transcended. What type of an intention is it, and what type of a thought projection is it when you're putting missiles in your ocean? I want you to vibrationally think about that. What is the vibrational equation? Every thought, word, and deed has a vibrational equation. Every thought, word, and deed has a vibrational equation. What is the vibrational equation of that missile going into the ocean? What is the intention? What's the intention? The intention is to see how much destruction it's going to do. Interpol, you can take down this IP address, please. They're showing me that this person is being paid. I'm calling each and every one of you out. Once you enforce yourself on my field, you're enforcing yourself on my page when all you're doing is just throwing hate. You're enforcing yourself on my page. I didn't go looking for you. You came looking for me. Ancestors and celestials, please return karma to this person, and they are being paid to come onto my page. That's from Spirit. Return karma to all these people that come on my platform and think that they can bully, and think that they can spew their stupidity, and think that that it doesn't matter to me. Sending them light and love. You don't have a right to come onto my free will channel. It's my free will channel. All of you absolutely know that my channel is for high vibration. That's in the title. It's in the title 5D. So if you're coming on just to intentionally spew your hate, you're coming on in bullies. This is the bullying that takes course every day. This is intentional bullying. And so where are the leaders of the countries? Where are the people that are doing the investigating? Where are the human rights advocates that say that I get to be exactly who I am and speak the light of God and to speak whoever I want to be of God and how I want to be of God? I'm hurting none. I'm hurting none. You're coming on my channel. I offer high vibrational codes of higher vibrational truth. This is my role, dear lighted ones. I am a teacher and I'm a leader of higher will. If you don't like it, you can absolutely stay off and go learn from wherever you learned from before. Go learn from the people that were giving that newsreel. There's your consciousness right there. Go be with it. You have your right to be with your consciousness. You don't have your right to come in and bully me and try and intimidate me to put me down a notch. Because I'm not going to go down a notch. I'm going to get up a notch. I have my rights. See you in court, because all of you will be criminally charged. All of you, every single person in the cult and coven, all 45 to 135, all will be seen in criminal court for the damages that you have done to my soul since the day that I was born, and all of you took money to bully, to impact, to do spell work, to falsify documents, to falsify paperwork, to falsify claims in court. These are actual serious crimes. People lying on my name in court. People doing sex videos and doppelganger copyright infringement. You can't even count the things that have been done. And I'm going to stand up for myself. It's not okay. How many children have been trafficked? How many people are speaking on behalf of the children that get trafficked every hour? And you want us just to sit down and be okay with this abhorrence? You want us to just sit down and be okay with missiles going off in your ocean? Thank God they're celestials that will take them and disintegrate them in midair so that there's no even damage in the ocean because of it. And you have the gall to say, oh, they came and they didn't let us do it. They didn't let us put a bomb in the ocean. The intelligence, again. I'm not mocking at all on any level. I'm not mocking at all. I'm bringing your statements of truth. At what point do you have authority to put off missiles in the ocean that affect all life in our galaxy? That's what you don't know because you're low consciousness. The people that have higher consciousness have the right through the Father, through the plans of eternal life, through the plans of Gaia's consciousness. Gaia has her own consciousness. If Gaia says that's not okay, take that missile out. Gaia will say that. And the federations will come in and take that missile out. Gaia is a wise being. She knows what's going on her planet. And she said enough is enough. This is the low consciousness, and I'm simply stating it. It is that low. You want to know why it sounds like mocking? Because there's enough people on the planet now that want light, that want peace, that actually want to build bridges of peace. We want to know our celestial families. We want to be healthier beings. We want to be higher intelligent beings. We want to see women in the collective that are actual leaders, that can heal people, that talk about healing. Why can't we talk about healing in the homes? Why can't we talk about light wisdoms of healing in the homes? You'd rather have news stations about what's going on. You'd rather have news stations about what's going wrong in the world so that you can keep your programs of money. You know what? Your little businesses don't make the world go round. Money doesn't make the world go round. People do. And what good is that if all your people are diseased and all your people are misfed information and all your people are walking around like little Epsteins? What good is it? That's what you want, isn't it? You want little Epstein minions so that you can do your trafficking, you can do your bombs, you can do whatever you want, just so you got more control. You can push the money wherever you want. Nobody's going to know the difference because everybody's going to be numb and dumb off illegal warfare, off illegal this and illegal that, and little minions that are going in every community and doing black magic and spell work anywhere of anybody that has anything to say. I do have something to say, and you put how many? 18,000. 18,000 thought projections over my life so that I don't get up. I'm going to keep getting up, and I'm going to get up every day, and I'm going to bring light, and I'm going to bring truth. That's my birthright. I have my right to my highest level of truth. I have my right to my highest level of light. And ain't nobody going to stop the light from getting inside my veins and my bones and my DNA. Although you try, didn't you? You try attacking my chakras every single night. And who gave you the right? Who gave you the right to attack my chakras? Who gave you the right to MK Ultra me? I want to know, where did the signature come from? Who signed on my behalf? Where's my money? I want to know what my birth records are. You can't answer this, can you? You want me to shut up? How many people are you going to send at me? Wouldn't it have just been easier to do this in a discreet way like we said 3 years ago? Wouldn't it have been easier if we just did this in a discreet way where we actually just sit at the table and you give me what I was worth and you give me what I was inherited and you give me what I've legally owned instead of paying your minions to try and take me out? Wouldn't it have been easier? People are waking up, period. And that's the Divine Father's plan. They have their birthright. Every human on this planet has a birthright. The only way that this can go to any different, people, my star seeds on planet Earth and my humans on planet Earth, the only way that this can go any different if you do not choose eternal life, if you give them permission to allow you to continue to remain in ignorance. If you give them permission to allow these systems and these so-called leaders and these so-called education systems and these so-called entertainment systems to keep you in ignorance and darkness and sacrificing life, which is absolutely uneducated, misguided, and wrong information. If you allow these wrong informations to guide you, if you allow half the truth to come forward, if you allow zero truth to come forward, then that is you giving permission to allow these people to continue to guide you off the cliff. And those will be the ones that will be moved off to Epstein Earth, and they can go and do whatever they want to that Earth, because that will be in a vibration and in a timeline, and it will be in a place where Source can make sure that those people that want to experience detonation, and those people that want to experience destruction, and those people that want to experience discrimination, those people that want to experience subjugation, those people that want to experience, we're going to put insight war on everything we don't understand. Those people will be on Epstein Earth, and let them do whatever they want to do on Epstein Earth. They won't touch me. And I'm going to start leading the people that want to be led in light. And we want to have healthy bodies, and we're going to be as young as we want for as long as we want, period. I don't need your big pharma. And I'm saying what every human wants to say. I have my rights to know exactly what I want to know, to be exactly what I want to be, and to know that I can be healed through anything that I've brought onto myself. And I will be forgiven if I so choose to seek light in my life every day, because I choose to be love. I don't want to be in separateness anymore. I want to build bridges because I'm tired of lying. I'm tired of hiding. I'm tired of being hid behind diseased bodies and being told lies in my very public. No, we're going to be led by higher consciousness. Again, if you don't like higher consciousness, you stay off my channel. You're more than happy to stay off my channel. Now, our intention today is, darlings, coming in the near future, we're going to focus on unity and building bridges, because unity consciousness is fifth dimensional consciousness. If you don't have unity consciousness in every thought, word, and deed in your day, and that card is just coming out, and that's a wonderful card. Oh, look at this card. That fell out, so we're going to have this as number one, and the number one card is the heavenly card. So isn't that cute? The heavenly card comes out with the page of discs. I love that. And then the next card is what? What is the next card? The next card that we're pulling is on behalf of Gaia. Next card is on behalf of Gaia. I'm going to practice with our clairs today. So just cleanse all the energies out of your field. Have yourself being bathed with the divine holy light. Breathe in wet light. Bring in your self-grounding. Bring in your self-grounding. I just got so passionate and just spewed out a whole bunch of information and lots of energy there. So now we're going to balance it. Those are the energies I work on. And ground. And see the light going grounding into the earth. Open your earth star chakra. You want all of your chakras open. Open your pineal. Open your pineal, which connects you to the higher self. Open your pineal, which connects you to your higher beings. Open your pineal, which connects you to your celestials. Open your pineal, connects you to your higher self. And clear and cleanse your pineal every day. It's good to clear your pineal every day because there has been a lot of work on the past in the collective that have been done on shutting people's pineals and closing them up with all the calcium and all the negative thought forms. So there's been lots of agendas and programs to stop you guys from ascending. So now we're going to choose to ascend those that so desire. Anybody that chooses not to, you can leave my channel. That's okay. No judgment. You can do and be whatever you want. I move forward for those people that want to move forward in light and divine evolution for the divine human to be an eternal beings. We need to learn more than what we've been learning in school. We're going to start to learn light language and light systems and light in our bodies and the light Metatronic light and our Merkaba. We're going to learn all about who we are as divine sacred beings because we do want to be eternal. I want to choose whatever body I want and I can make whatever body I want. That's being eternal because that is my God-given gift. If God gives us images to be godly, then we have our godly gifts. And that's why you have to learn how to use your gifts so that you're not hurting people and doing things in degradation. Like certain cults and covens that think that they have override and oversight on people that they don't. You don't have the right to say how a person's going to stay or die. You don't have the right to say when a person's due to stay here and when they're due to go, just because you want a position. Again, sacrificing will never get you anywhere except Epstein Earth, because nobody on this planet has a right to say when somebody goes. Nobody has a right to say what their blueprint's going to be. Nobody has a right to say that their destiny is going to be swapped. You don't have a right on anybody else's life. Get used to the universal laws, because there will be people that step in. And if there's missiles in the oceans or missiles going to hurt people, or if there's people that are going in to attack somebody that is a divine healer, that is a divine ancient being, that is bringing codes that have never been brought before on this planet, that being will be protected. And each and every one of you has seen it. I have been protected. I will not be touched. I have importance. On behalf of the Divine Father and the holiness of all creation, I bow and I am in reverence. Thank you, Holy Spirit. I am tired of being used and I'm tired of being abused. I want what is mine. Nobody has a right to study me. I didn't give any permissions. Okay, what is our second card for? Gaia? Let's do our Gaia card. We're gonna have to go really quick today. Ooh, I love this one. I love this one. Six of Swords. It's beautiful. Did you see? Oh, I love this one. I have goosebumps everywhere. Do you see the celestial that's taking the humans in the boat? Aww. That's a blue bean. The blue beings are also known as Anunnakis back in the olden days. But the blue beings are also Andromedans. Aww. So we've got 2 6s. 2 6s, lovely. And 6s is the number for harmony. And what's on the bottom? Oh, that's awesome. Look at that. And this is why we have the beautiful spread today, because the 10 of Wands, we don't want to play this game anymore. We don't want to play this game anymore. It's too much to carry. Deceit and ignorance and having people attack people and being paid to attack people on their platforms, that's not free will, and that's not honoring the human system. How is that the country of the land and the free? How is that? Where are those IP addresses, Spirit? Dominican Republic and North America. A few in Europe. Most of them are in the States. When you're connected with Spirit, you can have your answers. You didn't have to hold a huge thing with getting your news people involved and having such a fear-mongering statement to the people. Was it really necessary for you to put that much fear into the people? Was that an agenda? So when you're watching this newscast, I want everybody to ask themselves, is this an agenda, and how do I feel about it at the center of my being? And listen to what is being said and ask if they're open-ended questions, and if they're incited, and if they actually have enough information on there from people that are actually involved with. There's been, I don't know, hundreds of thousands of people written books about UFOs. and light ships. And some of us have very positive understandings about them because our energy is very positive. Did they bother to ask Daryl Anka, who's done a movie about such things, right in Hollywood? He's one of the ones that is very tempered and speaks a very balanced and knowing situation. No, because we're around celestials all the time. What's the big deal? The big deal is because the celestials won't hand over their technology because they know that it'll be weaponized and it'll be used in negative, nefarious ways, which is not why you're going to get the information about the technology. You will never receive the information about the technology because all you'll do is harm with it. You're not advanced. You're not healed. You're nothing. You're in no balance. You're not rotating on any level of doing good for your people. If you were, you wouldn't put missiles in your oceans. So then again, your intentions are in negativity. Therefore, thus then you won't be given the information. That's exactly like consciousness, as we've said many, many times. You cannot take the destiny of a 5D person when you're low vibrational person that says we're going to incite war because we don't understand it. We're going to attack her because she's a hybrid human. We're going to attack her because she's got celestial DNA, which they knew from day one because they were parts of the ones inciting it. So if you knew that I was a hybrid right from the beginning, but you set me up on all these agendas and obstacles just to test me to see how much I could get through. So weren't you the ones that were a part of building me and a part of creating me, but then you go and damage me and damn me anyways. So again, you're screwed if you do and you're screwed if you don't. Good luck if you survive the human hunting game. Next scene on your KY PBS channel. I mean, is this a joke? Is this a joke? You bring celestials to the planet just to abuse them, to see how much you can get away with because you know they're peaceful people and they're never ever going to strike out with their gifts? No, that's why the celestials and the ancestors are taking care of karma, because the ancestors and celestials are going to bring it back in magical ways. They're going to return all magic spells. They're going to return all of your energy, all the energy that you've been putting out, all the energy that you've been putting out in the 18,000 imprints and injections for me not to be here. All of those projections and thought forms for me to go away, all the plans, all the agendas, all the secret files, all the fabricated evidences, all the rituals, all the spells, all the voodoos, everything that has been chanted in my name. Close to 18,000. I have my rights to be here beyond that 18,000. I'm very important to the multiverse, and Source Creator, the Father, my destiny, my soul's blueprint trumps it all. Therefore, thus then, perhaps you go and learn, perhaps you go and heal. Because everybody on this planet has their right to be, to explore, to express, to be, to experience who they are in all ways. Our expression of who we are is vital, and it is the evolution of all creation. Our expression is vital. It is the evolution of all creation, and we will not sit down. You don't have a right to keep putting us in boxes we simply will never fit. We are not like you. And isn't that okay? And perhaps if you get another lifetime, you might be like one of us as well. We are all one in this experience, are we not? We've accepted you for your low consciousness. We've accepted you to be in office as many times as you've been in office and to make as many mistakes as you have. We've allowed that, and we've forgiven you in every way we have. We have forgiven in every error that the governments have done and the big pharmas have done. We've forgiven everybody. But we also have our right to stand and be eternal light. We want to know about who we are as light, and we will. We will get our daily codes from the sun. We will ask the Mother and the Father and all that is Spirit to be with us in all ways, of light, of love, of peace and harmony, because it's our birthright. We're going to channel these cards and we're going to go. Thank you, Holy Spirit. And this page of discs. This page of discs is a heavenly card. And so what's standing out at you in this moment, if you're calling in your higher consciousness, you're calling in your higher self, what energies are coming out to you in this card? Tune into your clairaudience, your clairsentience, your clairknowing, your clairtangents. My throat is beautiful and divine. My throat is bathed in the Holy Spirit. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Return all energies and all magic and all intentions back to those that are nefarious and sending their energies. Send it back to them, please, Spirit. Thank you. I am connected with the Divine Source Creator. My crown chakra is fine and safe. Archangel Michael, please bless me with the seal of your protection layers. Thank you, Holy Lord Michael. And send all their energies back. What's standing out in this card? What is the energy you're getting from this card from the heavens? I love this card. This beautiful energy that's coming to me right now is the celestials that obviously have come in different garb, right? They've come in different clothing, they've come in a different light ship, and they've come to sit upon the planet that they've been here many times, and they've given teachings on many generations and many eons, and they're coming to give a gift. Now, what does that say about inciting violence? Well, because you don't understand it, so now we're talking about these cards and we're talking about higher intelligence. So how about we all open our hearts to know that the celestial federations and the celestials of light and the celestial councils and the star councils of light and every celestial that you have in your bedroom that gives you healings every night, these are your star families from higher dimensions. And there are 13 dimensions in this one universe. And these beings have been a part of your life. And every way that you stay within fear and limitation and control, all of those domination energies and lack of self and no love, and you're not connecting with relationship of any part of life, then you will gather and you will garner and you will attract negative energies. And there are negative energies that want to do harm on planet Earth. And many of those have been in your governments, and many of those have been in the workplaces, and many of those have been in your families. Because they are the catalyst of the shadow that is showing you how to forgive. They're the shadow that is there for you to say, we've been in these wars before, how can we create light, how can we create bridges? And when you've done so many times, sometimes you just leave whatever happens to Source Creator and allow Source to sort out the karma. Because you can only allow that to offer to happen 1,800 times before you say, okay, I've done offering. I cannot hold my life up anymore. I'm not going to sit in this negative, toxic experience. I'm going to leave. And sometimes you do have to leave those experiences because you have your right to grow. You have your right to be more than violence. You have your right to be more than covert abuse. And Source will support you in that because you're here for you first. You're here to keep your light and your balance and your spirit in your soul's blueprint aligned. This celestial being is coming forward on the earth to say, I come bearing gifts. And yes, I might look different than you. And yes, I might have a vehicle that's different than you. And yes, our technology is different than you, but we are still one. And there are beings on the planet like myself and like Daryl and like Daniel and like Michaela and like all these beautiful channels that have come forward and all of the infinite number of billions of star seeds on the planet right now. We have our right to expand beyond what was. We want to build bridges of peace and unity, and we are one. We will never stop being one. We have always been one. Release all energies where there are statements and news or movies or anything about any beings coming down to blow anything up or take anything over or have any type of war. That is not the celestials' intentions. It never has been. And you all know that because here you are in 2025. And all the wars that have been on your planet have been about you and only you. So again, these are misinformed people that are putting misinformed information out to the public, wanting to buy into fear. They want to separate you and they want you to bring in more fighting and infighting and ingathering. You're meant to find your excitement to explore celestials, your excitement to explore who you are as celestials, to explore who you are as dynamic beings of light, to explore who you are as sacred geometry, to explore who you are within your chakras and in your fields of light, and your gifts and your skills and your talents for being psychic and healing. Many of the star seeds will know that they will be healers and they will come up with much inventiveness. And you will move forward because you will evolve. You will evolve beyond what is. And sometimes, yes, it's okay that those that have been so impassioned and those that have been so bullied, they get their chance and they get their right to have their podium once in a while. And sometimes they will be impassioned and they will speak the truth of many star seeds and many children that have been taken out before them because she is this voice. They've been treated so egregiously. Simply because we believe in different things and because we see different things and we can speak on different things that some people can't see or hear. So, and luckily there are channels like the Gaia channel that have advanced informations and informations of books and people that are on there expressing their opinions and expressing their stories of truth. And it's okay, everybody gets a truth. But you don't get to force opinions and force beliefs about what will be and what won't be for the human collective. We will evolve. And there needs to be somebody to stand up in light to say, we will evolve. We will not stay stuck. We do wish to know our celestials. We do wish to return in oneness. And we do wish eternal life. I will have eternal life over my body. Amen. Thank you, Holy Spirit. And my celestials around me every day, all day. Thank you, Holy Spirit, for keeping me safe and honored in all that I am. And I'm your servant within the celestials of light and the councils of light and the star councils and all galaxy and all galactic federations. Thank you, Holy Spirit. I'm of service. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Yeah, they're saying now go have some fun. So that's a beautiful card from the heavens. The heavens are just showing you. Your celestials are always here to give you gifts. How did you ever think it was otherwise? Because the consciousness that those are sitting at that say such things are in negative consciousness. They're in fear consciousness. They're in coming to get us fear control. Again, that's where their consciousness is at, but they don't have the right to speak on behalf of the people, because not all the people in the collective are maintaining themselves from a fear base. Again, as every channeler has said, if you put 100 people in a lineup and those 100 people are shown a light ship from the Pleiades constellation, they're your star families, they're your star brethren, and they've been here many, many times. They just choose to be invisible. But this one day, those 100 people see that one light ship. Every person on that lineup will have a different experience and a different impression, and it's all based on where their consciousness is at. So please, dear lighted ones, everything from here on out is your consciousness. It's your consciousness. You are the only one that can expand your consciousness. And how do you do that? Daily ascension pathwork. Who are you? What do you exist within, and what's going on within you? Heal those low vibrational beliefs of separation. You don't need to move forward in fear. There's nothing to fear. It's always you. Source creator and the divine families that you belong with will always lead you to safety and love and healing bodies. There's nothing to fear. The ascension path is exciting. It takes you from low vibrational belief to high vibrational belief, and you get to tap into your gifts and skills and your talents and the highest creativity that you've ever had as a human. Because you know that you're a divine human. You're sacred, and spirit is the only quickeneth. So commune with spirit. Speak with spirit. Align with spirit. Speak with spirit. Talk with spirit. Be one with spirit. Walk with spirit. Sleep with spirit. Bring spirit into everything that you are and do, and you will see changes within a very short period of time, 3 days. Ask to dream about spirit, and you'll align with your higher self. Call in your higher self every day. Call your higher self in to speak as you speak. I am now speaking entirely from my higher self. I have access to all dimensions, all planets that I have access to. Source creator will make sure if I want to know something about somewhere, that source will give me that thread. That's being godly. What's wrong with that? So then you put us in suppression, you make sure that our channels are never seen, you make sure that nobody can ever hear from us, and you make sure that we're not going to get seen, and we have our dates played with, we have our channel played with, we have people pilfering off us, everybody can make money off us. People can put disgusting videos on the black web that are not even me, that I've never agreed to, that I would never agree to, or fans only that I would never agree to, or POAs that I would never agree to because I'm a genius, because I've actually have power over my own life, I have free will of my own life, because everything has been a facade because everybody wants my money. They don't give a crap about me. They don't give a crap that I'm homeless. They don't give a crap about anything about me. And then you say, and so these are the people that are being led, and these are the people that are in power, and these are the people that are called officials, these are the people in your churches. It will be known across this world. This will be my story of discrimination on how I've transcended. And I will come forward with the teachings on how I've transcended. I've spoken to you about it every day. A daily ascension pathwork and your alignment with Source Creator. That is how you will transcend any trafficking, any MK Ultra, any projected abuse that might come at you. Whether it's 18,000 negative hits to take your life out, or less than, or 3,000 or 50. How would it be even possible for 50 of sacrifices to be done on my life? How would it be? I don't even know any of these people. And so these people just want to trade me because they know that I'm of spiritual royalty, that they're going to trade my name back and forth. They're going to make money on me in the underground. Are you making money now? No, every single one of you are getting karma. Karma that you'll never probably get out of. So again, are your beliefs of higher intelligence? If the sacrificing is your belief of higher ways, is it giving you a higher way? Each and every one of you will get karma so that each and every one of you will face. The money was never ever your answer, because the money will not take you out of where you're going. And is it worth it to you? That's your Epstein Earth. Again, is that higher intelligence? Is it higher intelligence to put missiles in the ocean? Is it higher intelligence to do the newscasts that were done to incite such fear upon your people when you don't have information and you're not fully educated and you're not even consciously awake yet? You haven't even had your first dark night of the soul. You're not spiritually aligned on any level. You don't know what your chakra wisdoms are on any level, and you don't talk to your higher self or spirit on any level. Does that give you liability to say what you need to be say and then to bring the fear in the people that you have? Does that sound like intelligence? Again, ask questions, dear lighted ones, and don't stand down. Source Creator will support you. This is on behalf of that was the heavens message. This is Gaia's, and then we're doing the collective for the collective. This is the collective. Yes, this is the collective. The collective is in the waters. Again, we were just talking about the waters, and they know the importance of the waters, and now they're moving away. Those of you that know the regular tarot meaning of the Six of Swords, it means that you're trusting in the celestials that have shown us unconditional love and unconditional care. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here. I would not be here if it were not for my celestials. They made me over and brought me back to life 4 times from all of the detriment that has been done by the humans on this planet and the human shadow agendas, by the shadow government and by the cults and the covens and by those individual people that have sought out to hate me because I'm so different. And they're jealous of me and envious of me, and they don't understand why I should be given anything. They think I should be left with nothing and in poverty and aligning with their false narratives and their false stories of being a porn star. I throw my sex around. I'm addicted to drugs. I'm, what was it? A schizophrenic. I'm crazy. I'm this, I'm that. They want me to align with all of their lies and all of their narratives so that they can take over a POA and come out clean so that they never have to go to court. They never have to go to jail for their lies and their defamation of character and the 17 criminal federal offenses that they've done against my human rights. Not only that, but theft and fraud and exploitation and defamation and copyright infringement. I mean, the list goes on and on. And I'm the crazy one. No, I'm just being a star seed. I'm just being me, and I'm bringing forward truth, and I'm the one that gets silenced and hit on every day. Okay, so everybody gets to choose. This is free will, and Source will provide free will to every soul. Source is right use of free will and non-interference. If you seek light, you will get light. That's God's promise. Get in the elevator, push the button. Everybody has free will. Will you be a leader unto yourself? Will you be a commander unto yourself, or will you be led? And being led is to continue to stay where you are and keep yourself closed. We're going to get light every day. The light will not stop. The light will continue on this planet. And if there's detriment brought to the people or to the oceans, you absolutely better bet that there are people that are higher outranking than you, because you don't own this planet. You don't own it. And money does not make this planet go around. The people do. Life does. Consciousness does. Therefore, thus then, you've been outranked. And I'm going to be the one that comes and speaks it, because that's my role. I walk with Anubis, and I have the heavens that are backing me. And until the heavens say no, we're going to make you do something else now, because it's time for you to have a rest. Because it's time for me to actually get healed. It's time for me to actually be given to. It's time for me to actually be respected in the role that I am on this planet. Because I'm showing everybody all is possible. Even if you're sacrificed 50 times, all is possible. Come forward and God will give you the light that you so ache for, and the unity that you so ache for from families that actually truly love you. When they actually say they love you, they actually love you. They don't try and take you out and kill you. They don't try and do an insurance swap on you. They don't try and do a destiny swap on you. These families actually love you, and they will do nothing but bring and bear gifts, and they will make sure that you get to the other side. This is what my celestials are doing. They're making sure that I'm going to get to where I need to be. And if they have to take me out to another planet, and if they have to take me out to another timeline, if I'm zipping timelines, then so be it. That's where I will be. Because my jurisdiction is the heavens, and I speak it, and I bring codes of it. I'm bringing codes for people that are not yet here. I'm bringing codes for people that are going to be here in 6 generations from now. How do you like them apples? That's truth for you, dear lighted ones. My passage is safely kept. That's higher intelligence. This is for the collective. And don't you like, this is for Gaia. This is for Gaia, and don't you like this? The six of cups is where we all share. And you love all the greenery in this. And again, you see that there's cups. The cups are being shared because the water is safe to drink. And there is a house in the back. They actually do have a home where people are caring for them. And the children can play out in the yard without fear of being trafficked and lured into prostitution. What visions do you hold for your planet, dear lighted ones, and what's going on right now? What visions do you hold for the people? What visions do you hold for the water? And will you be one of the ones that comes forward and speaks of it safely and intelligently? We're not going to bear false witness. We're going to be intelligent because we're aligned with Source Creator. We align in union and communion with Source every day. And we say, thank you, Holy Spirit. Thank you. Anybody that would like an ascension session with me, talk about any of my 3 books. And my 4th book is called The Alliance with Light. That's the only reason why I'm here. I'm teaching you how to heal, teaching you how to transcend limitation and separation, subjugation, discrimination. My email, my PayPal is paypal.me/Joanna L. Ross. I'm a spiritual guide. I'm a teacher. I'm a healer. I'm a Christed conduit. And I'm offering my highest and my best for you every day. And I'm coming forward to speak on things that need to be spoken about. Let's wake up, dear lighted ones. We're ready for 5D. I love you, dear lighted ones. Thank you for all your donations. Anybody that wants to book a session with me, I'm here. I'm ready. I'm available. I love each and every one of you. I love each and every one of you. Please take care of your planet. She is a jewel. And please take care of your bodies. She is a representation of your bodies, too. Like we know that, right? It's like a mirrored expression. Your body is a temple and so is Gaia. So let's take care of her. Clean water, clean air, and make sure you're asking for your light codes every day and always be in communion with your teams and your guides and your higher self. We love you, we love you, we love you so very much. Any donations, that would be really great. Thank you, dear lighted ones, and I love you. Bye.